Start with that. It's been a long off season. I throw a lot of information, a lot of stuff at you all the time, between things to do and places to be and opportunities for everybody. And with the CrossFit and the other things we did, the defensive camp and all that stuff, I'm thanking you because that was an opportunity to get the boys out early. Get the boys together early, get the boys doing this stuff. So now that we're sitting here and they're on the line, they all know each other. We're not coming here August 1st and saying, I don't know you or you don't know me, right? And I don't know who you are, what you do, or whatever. They know each other. They're already bonded. They're already creating a team. That's huge. So I thank you for putting in the time, putting in the effort to make that happen, to get us to that point. So now here we are. Season begins. Yesterday, season began. August 1st, it's official, right? We're officially in football season, right? I've talked about it. Everything to this point has been optional. You know, come as you can, right? Come as you're able to. Come as you can. Now, this is commitment time. This is mandatory time. I don't like that word, but it is what it is, right? We're starting here. Practices. All right. I'm going to jump around a little bit. Forgive me. I have my notes, but I tend to jump. I'm going to start with practices. Practices are what determines who plays and how much you play. Practices are what determines who's a running back, who's an offensive lineman, who's a D-back, who's a linebacker, who's first string, who's second string, and so forth. This is where it matters. Getting the boys here and ready to go is what's important. Having the boys coming out on time to these practices, having them dressed, ready to go, 6 o'clock, boom, we're going. It's very important. We're not delayed. We're not 5-10 minutes of delay means 5-10 minutes of something not being learned. Some opportunity not being seen. Someone not being seen in a position that maybe they might shine at. So I ask, as practices goes, that's very important. Other thing with practices, we're going to do a lot of them. I lost count of something like 922. I don't remember the total number of practices we'll have. Obviously that's an exaggeration, but the point is we're going to be seeing a lot of each other. It's hot now. By the time we're still practicing, it's going to be cold. Right? It's a very long season. Two times a week on a Monday, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Friday nights. I'll get to Friday nights a little bit more. We're going to be together. These kids are going to be out there. They're going to be tired sometimes and so forth, but it's a lot. But this is where we see who's who and what they can do. They're learning. They're going to get opportunities at different things, to run the different positions and different drills. Again, starting positions, linebackers, runners, all that stuff is determined in this, right? This is where we determine who's going to be out there game one as a starter, who's going to be out there as a second, as a third, right? And yes, we have starters. We're going to have a starting crew, right? And then we're going to have a rotation. We're going to have seconds coming in. We're going to have thirds coming in, and then we'll mix people around depending on what scores look like. But basically, we're going to have that rotation, and this is where we determine who's who. We determine who's where, who's one, who's two, who's three, what position they're playing in, and what two positions they play. So this is very important. When I talk to the kids and I look at them, I say hi to them, we talk, we chat, we get ready and all this stuff. I ask that they come down ready to go, dressed, ready to go, all the equipment that they need, ready to go, helmets, shoulder pads, mouth guards, cups. I'm not going to push cups too much, but if you want them to be safe and happy, put them in cups and practices. Game days, they're mandatory. Have them come down ready to go, like I said. I'm always watching them, and I know as they were younger kids, I would watch them coming off the parking lot, kind of just dragging along, waiting for mom and dad to bring their equipment with them, right? No rush at all. Meanwhile, it's 6:10 and I'm already doing drills, and they're strolling into the off the parking lot, not a care in the world. I see that. That matters. Right? I'm not going to stop my practice waiting for Bobby or Johnny to move along. Can't do it. So please, I'm going to talk to them on this, and I'm telling you on this. You're at the practices as best you can, and I know it's you who bring them. I'm one of you. I get it. Get them there. Please have them move. Tell them move. Go. Carrying their helmets, carrying their bags, carrying their shoulder pads, ready to go. Your water bottles, and they're running in from that car to here, dress, boom, on the field they go. That I ask of you, please. Don't let them drag. So that's practices. Practices are 6 to 8, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I try to end pretty much by 8. Sometimes there'll be a play or two, something that we're lagging on, we're dragging on. There might be 8:05, might be 8:10. Please bear with us. Right, we get them off as best we can. I try to wait on the field until everyone's off the field. In case there's any kids, you do a drop off, or by all means, you can drop them off. Right, just try not to be too far. Hopefully, I have your contact information. If something does happen, somebody can help you with that. Right, so by 8, we're done. Off the field, they can go. Get them home, get them rested, fed, all that good stuff. Just bring them down with waters and all that stuff, and you bring them down to the practices and so forth. All right, so that's Tuesdays and Thursdays, starting September 1st. Right, is when we shift. We're going to shift down to the other field over here underneath the lights. All right, for all the first timers who haven't been here, we'll be underneath the lights over there by the baseball fields. All right, that's where we'll be for the rest of the year. After we leave
that's the far. That's all the way.
When you first come in, you're first right, hard right.
Okay.
And you'll see it, the lights will be on.
Yep.
It's cool, right? So we get lights now. Obviously here, I wish we had lights, but we don't. So that's that. Fridays. Now, last year, the way we typically did it, we did walkthroughs on Saturdays. Saturday mornings walkthroughs. Walkthrough is a little different in so much that we go over specific plans for that Sunday's game. Right? So walkthroughs could be, okay, these are our main plays. This is what their defense does. This is what we're going to try to focus on. We're going to work in 34 is their best kid. All that kind of stuff is what happens on Saturdays, on walkthroughs. Right? And we flip that. And then we do a little bit of a special teams walkthrough. This is the first year special teams. Right? So we have kickoffs and punts and field goals and all that stuff. Right? So that's more things we're learning on. So we'll do walkthroughs on that as well. Now, I typically had this on Saturdays. I know there are conflicts on Saturdays with flag football. I did flag for many years. I know some of you from flag. I don't do it anymore. I've removed myself from that because of this. I don't have that as a conflict anymore in my life. Some of you still do, and that's fine. I'm not a big fan of flag anymore. Reasons I'll get into. But basically, it takes away from my time with them on the Saturdays because I know HDB runs them 3 or 4 different, about 2 or 3 hour block, and I get it. So because of that, and I don't want to have to battle with that, I'm going to move to Friday nights. Friday nights will be over there underneath the lights. And hopefully, I know there's no flag on Friday nights unless there's weather reasons or what have you. So we'll be doing that Friday nights. I figure it's less conflict, right? So that'll be about an hour 15, give or take, in time-wise. Let me go through offense, let me go through defense, let me go through D, a couple of pointers, and off they go.
That's what I said. How long?
It's harder now. Typically I did an hour last year, but we didn't have special teams last year. Now we have special teams, and we have to practice and walk through special teams. You got to practice kickoffs and all that stuff. So I need to give myself a little extra time. So that's why. Now I alluded to flag football as a conflict, so I'm going to jump onto that. Conflicts are there. I know they are. I know we put our kids in as many different things as possible. I get it. We've had conversations with some of you and so forth, whether it be flag or baseball or soccer or lacrosse or tennis or badminton, I don't know. There's conflicts there.